All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Sports Addicts Baseball Podcast. I'm Todd, joined today with my friend Will, also known as a Philly fanatic. Will, how we doing today?
We're doing good, Todd.
Doing good. Love to hear
Day one of the baseball podcast. We're just gonna delegitimize everyone else who has done a podcast with us two clowns talking about baseball.
All right, let's do it. All right, we
Can't
got
wait.
a good podcast for you guys today. We're going to be talking about GMs, new managers, and the baseball awards. But I feel like out of respect, we have to talk about the biggest news of the week, and not just baseball, but all Big Four American sports, and that's with the Marlins hiring Kim Eng as their GM. Will, what do you think of this move?
As well, first, the Marlins have absolutely killed the Phillies in everything that they've done since the last 2 years. And now they go out and make possibly the best GM hiring in all of baseball.
Yeah.
Like Kim Eng, she has been good no matter where she has gone. Like she started out with the Dodgers and learned the ropes there, went to the Yankees and was part of three world champion teams. Was a big reason why Derek Jeter remained a Yankee. And now she has worked with Marlins for a little bit, has now gone into GM, and wherever she has gone, she has had success. And it's an exciting time for Miami. It's an exciting time for just like women in leadership roles, like not even baseball. Like she has instantly turned herself into a role model with this position. And I saw one tweet where it's like the top two people running the Miami Marlins are women.
Yeah,
And that's like just the progress that the Marlins have started with this hiring. It's something that's going to change the landscape, not only baseball but all sports for years and years to come.
yeah, I agree. You talked about her experience. She's been in baseball for 30 plus years. And this comes almost exactly 1 year after the Giants hired the first coach, Alyssa Nakken, if you remember that.
Yeah.
So I think this is only going to open up more doors for women in sports, and it's definitely an exciting time. So I know the Orioles hired, I think, like Eve Rosenbaum for their director of baseball operations as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see where this is going to go in the upcoming years. And of course, it was Derek Jeter who hired her after you mentioned she helped sign him long term in New York in the 2000s. So,
Of course. So whatever gift basket Jeter gave her back in the day,
paid
it,
off.
yeah, the gift basket she has now. Good grief. Good grief.
I heard she interviewed for the GMs of numerous teams over the past couple of years, and no one with her experience still hired her, which is bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, the Phillies, they're currently looking for
Yeah,
a GM. And I would have been so happy if we got her because she knows baseball. She has worked her entire life, literally started at the bottom as an intern, and
yeah,
now she's at the top. And hopefully, hopefully, we'll see more of this. And this is just a win all the way around.
I agree. Want to move into the new managers?
Yeah, the managers are definitely definitely interesting. We have three new managers, somewhat new
Yeah,
managers for 2021. The Boston Red Sox have rehired Alex Cora. Uh, Alex Cora for 2020 was suspended due to being a dirty, rotten little cheater, and that was his punishment. The Red Sox obviously don't really care about what his past was all about, and so they're
Not at
bringing
all.
him back. Do you want to dive into Alex Cora a little bit?
Yeah. The Red Sox rehiring Cora was probably the least surprising news of all time. They were obviously going to bring him back. They tanked for 60 games. Well, I don't think they tanked. They're just not a good baseball team anymore.
Mhm.
But who was their coach for the year? Ken.
Exactly.
Like, no one knows who he is. He was just there for 60 games. Do you have anything else to add on Cora? Because I just don't want to talk about cheaters. So.
Well, if you don't want to talk about cheaters, a beautiful segue into the Tigers' new hire of AJ Hinch,
Actually, I do want to talk about AJ Hinch. This is
who
exciting.
who is just as bad, maybe even worse
Probably
than
worse.
Alex Cora.
Yeah, probably worse.
So yeah, the whole Astros cheating scandal was a big selling point for Detroit,
Yeah.
and that is the new manager for the Tigers. And according to MLB trade rumors, if they didn't get AJ Hinch, they wanted Alex Cora,
Interesting.
which is just like they want to cheat,
Yeah,
basically.
they're making it very public information. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we want the top two scummiest managers to help our young guys win. So
They
that's
should have went
clearly
after Carlos
Detroit's.
Beltran.
I mean, surprised he wasn't mentioned, but that's clearly their strategy.
It's a good strategy nowadays. So
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll mix it up in Detroit. You know, maybe they won't use a trash can. Maybe they'll use a car horn, because GM
I
and
gotta
all
switch
that.
it up.
Yeah.
On a different note, on besides the whole cheating aspect, I actually really like this hire for them because when Hinch entered Houston in 2015, he came into the team after they had like a 9-year playoff drought, and then the first year they made the playoffs with the rookie seasons of Correa and Springer. So clearly he knows how to develop young talent, work with his players. And as we know, Detroit has a super young team, maybe not as promising as that Astros team, but they do have some good prospects. So it's going to be exciting to see how he can try to transform Tigers baseball back to what they were like 10 to 15 years ago.
Now, do you think um, AJ Hinch has any form of opportunity to redeem himself of everything that happened in Houston? I mean, Alex Cora, I don't think he has any chance to do that because he's still in Boston.
Right.
But do you think moving to a new team will help Hinch at all? Or
I think so. I think so. Fresh start. And I know he wasn't found like as the culprit, if you want to put it, in Houston, but he also didn't stop it from happening. Um, no, I think he'll have a second chance, a fresh start. I think no one's going to forget it, but I think people will appreciate that he moved on from Houston and he's trying somewhere else. What about you?
I think, I mean, I agree with what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I think that even though he's going to a new team,
Mm-hmm.
like that scandal is going to be talked about for years and years to come.
Absolutely.
And when you're the manager, like you're responsible, good or bad, for everything that happens to your team. And yeah, they won the World Series, but there's also a lot of evidence saying,
Did they?
kind of did it the wrong way. So I feel like I I don't know. I think he is hoping that this will be a new start, but I don't think people are going to forget what he did.
Especially since Houston got off so easy with their punishments. We don't have
Boston
to go
too.
into all that. Yeah, Boston, oh, of course.
Yeah. classic Red Sox. And just looking to see other names that were considered for this Tigers position included Dave Clark, Tigers first base coach, Sal Fasano, Braves catching instructor, Pedro Griffol, could be saying that wrong, Royals bench coach, Phil Nevin, Yankees third base coach, and a common theme amongst all the interviews is Will Venable. He was looked at for Boston, looked at for Detroit, Chicago, who we're about to dive into rather shortly. He didn't get an opportunity for there, but possibly 2022, 2023, Will Venable could be a name for a open spot on some team somewhere.
Interesting find. Interesting.
I mean, Will Venable. He
Will
was
Venable,
a
your
decent
boy.
baseball player.
It's a little bit.
Nothing crazy, but maybe he just has that baseball mind that
Yeah, he's got that IQ.
yeah help a team.
So you mentioned the White Sox.
Yeah, they
So anything new with Tony La Russa in the news? Staying under the radar?
yeah. Tony La Russa, he's just being Tony La Russa. He on November 9th, no, wrong, November or October 28th, he was arrested for a DUI in Arizona, and this is the second DUI of his career. He had one back in 2007 when he was the Cardinals manager. And the most interesting thing with all this, I mean, first, he has an alcohol problem, which is a kind of a bold choice if you want that kind of person to be running your team and it's like a publicly known thing.
Yeah.
And just the other day, Bob Nightingale of USA Today is reporting that the White Sox are not going to fire him, are not going to give him any kind of discipline. They are perfectly okay with their manager, one of the faces of their young team, to be just an alcoholic.
Totally fine with DUIs.
They are perfectly fine with it. And outside of the whole DUI thing, like Tony La Russa, he's a good manager.
Yeah.
Like he has had
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he is a Hall of Famer. Had success with the White Sox back in the early 80s. And then his great success with the Cardinals and that run that they had with the weird juju that only the Cardinals seem to know how to find. And then he laid low for a bit. Now he's back with the White Sox. Chicago is a very young and exciting team. What are your thoughts on this hire?
Yeah, I agree what you said. White Sox are definitely young and exciting, which is why I'm completely surprised by this hire with Tony La Russa. I feel like he's going to be the old school kind of baseball guy, anti-analytics, kind of not the trend that's going on right now in the MLB. So surprising for sure. Even more surprising that they knew about this DUI last month and did nothing about it. Were not concerned at all. So it makes me question the White Sox leadership and their front office. And it's just completely surprising. I was not expecting that at all.
Yes, according to MLB trade rumors again, the only other person the White Sox were considering were Willie Harris, who's currently the Reds base running and outfield coordinator, and AJ Hinch, who,
Right.
again, an interesting pick. But they went with alcohol over trash cans. And what more do you want from the south side of Chicago?
Not much more. Yeah, it seems like they had their mindset on La Russa before really looking into or interviewing anyone else.
And at his age, I'm surprised he's even coming back. I mean, he had a quiet spell for a little bit,
Yeah,
and I just figured, okay, Tony La Russa's done. He's retired.
riding off into the sunset.
Exactly. But now he's going from the sunset to South Chicago,
South Chicago.
which is the exact not the place you want to be.
Also, with that second DUI, didn't he try to play the "Do you know who I am" card? I'm a Hall of Famer.
He did.
That's. I mean, I would play that card too if I was a Hall of Famer.
Exactly. Like, have you been to Cooperstown, New York? I am on the wall in Cooperstown, New York.
Are you?
And well, Tony
That's a
La
fun little
Russa
fact.
is. One day, when this podcast really takes off,
Yeah,
two will be on the wall in Cooperstown.
open.
So there's that for you.
What about in your NL East, Steve Cohen with the Mets?
Steve Cohen's interesting because he is a Mets fan, first of all,
Yeah,
with a lot of money.
that's scary for you, a Phillies fan.
It is a little scary, but I don't know. I feel like they're going for this free agent period in the next couple. They're going to overspend on guys, which is good for whatever player that's going to be. But the Mets are still the Mets. Like, Wilpon or no Wilpon, they will find a way.
They always do.
They'll find a way to either have a slew of injuries. Just like they're the Mets. Like
The Mets.
what? I'm not expecting anything crazy out of them. I'm praying I don't get anything crazy out of them. Yeah, Mets fans are excited about it. They should be.
Yep.
The Wilpons have
Yeah.
not been good since owning the team. They have tried to just, or should, well, they haven't really tried to get a winning product, if you will. And so now it could be a new culture. Hopefully, for Met fans, Cohen will be giving Brody Van Wagenen free range on whoever he thinks is best for the team. And for Met fans, it is exciting. For the rest of the NL East,
not as much. Finding some reason for optimism there since 2015.
Yes.
But yeah, I wouldn't be too upset if all the Mets fans got their hopes up over this and they're the same old Mets.
I would love that. That would be ideal.
All right, want to get into these awards that were given out over the last week?
Yeah, I mean, we can start with the big one first, if you will, the MVP. In the American League, we had, in my opinion, a bit of a surprise. Jose Abreu.
Okay.
Chicago White Sox first baseman. He just beat out Jose Ramirez. And Abreu's first MVP. Any thoughts on that?
He would have been, in my opinion, he would have been my pick for MVP. Dude, just total slugger. Best player on that team, carried them to the playoffs. In my biased opinion, DJ LeMahieu should have got more votes than Jose Ramirez, but I'll just leave that at that. Best player on the Yankees. I don't think Jose Ramirez should have been in the top 3. I believe if anyone was representing Cleveland, it should have been Shane Bieber, who had an unbelievable year. Obviously, unanimous Cy Young. I'm curious to see why Jose Abreu surprised you a little bit.
I think it's mainly because Jose Abreu, throughout his entire career, he's been super consistent at what he's done. Like he hits pretty well, always there for power, good glove, and he'll always be like, seems like a second choice in all-star voting. And he was always kind of there, but he was always really good. I feel completely underappreciated. And so with this year, it's as if people finally paid attention to him because the White Sox were good. And I feel like if this season was not weird and was stretched out the full length, that it would just be another Jose Abreu season. And now that it was shorter, the White Sox were winning games, made the playoffs, and Jose Abreu just did what Jose Abreu does, and people were like, "Oh, he's really good."
Finally getting recognized.
Yeah, and so I feel like he should have been considered in even past MVP voting. I mean, obviously not the top tier, but at least be getting some votes.
Yeah.
So that's why it surprised me that not only did he get votes, he beat guys out like Shane Bieber, as you said, was top tier in everything a starting pitcher could do. Mike Trout, the best player in baseball. Nelson Cruz, who just mashes balls. Tim Anderson, Luke Voigt, like all these guys who were having great years. Jose Abreu just did what he did, and here we are. You know, got his first MVP. Had 374 total points. Jose Ramirez came in second with 303 points. LeMahieu third, 230 points. Bieber in fourth with 173, and Mike Trout coming in fifth with 172.
Mike Trout's first year since what, 2017, not being a finalist, which is not surprising for the season, but
all that money slowed him down, and
yeah,
all of his performance, like, I got paid. I'm on the Angels. Who cares? I don't have to try anymore.
So, over to the NL though. Your boy Freddie Freeman.
Yes.
Beating out Mookie Betts.
I mean, I've always said if Freddie Freeman was on any team but Atlanta, I would love him because he's a good guy on the field, good guy off the field. Sweet swing with, doesn't matter who he's facing, righty or lefty, he just hits the ball. Great on defense. And this was a well-deserved MVP. Kind of similar to Jose Abreu, in my opinion. Has always had these kind of seasons. And now he's finally getting recognized for all his work that he's done. And telephone. And Mookie Betts coming in second. That's he had a great starting year. And do you have any thoughts on Freddie Freeman?
No, like what you said, not surprising. He does this year after year, like Jose Abreu. I was kind of hoping, well, not hoping necessarily, but I thought Fernando Tatis, with the way he was playing, was going to get earn a finalist spot. But then over the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season, he totally dipped, and we didn't hear too much about him. But Manny Machado from the Padres got that third finalist spot. He also deserved it. No, Mookie Betts. If you beat out Mookie Betts in MVP, you know you're playing good baseball. Year after year, Mookie Betts is putting up insane numbers. And why the Red Sox didn't re-sign him, I don't know. We won't get into that, but I'm not complaining about it. So
Yeah,
I'm happy for Freddie.
just looking at the results of the top 5 guys for National League MVP. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto. Not only are all those guys wildly talented, but they're all really young. Freddie Freeman's the old man at like 29.
That's crazy.
And so the NL East, or not the NL East, but the entire National League, they have a lot of really young superstars. And just going to watch all of their careers develop over time is going to be interesting and have a lot of, I'm predicting a lot of close MVPs and Gold Gloves and all of that for all of these very talented players.
It's an exciting time.
Let's move on to Cy Young, shall we?
Cy Young. Shane Bieber, obviously that was a no-brainer over in the AL. No one deserved it more than him, even though he got lit up in the playoffs by the New York Yankees.
We don't have to go into that.
No, we don't have to, but he got lit up. Do you have anything to add on Bieber, or you just want to move on? Because
when you're first or second in every pitching category, you deserve the best pitching award. Next.
Yeah. Next. Yeah. Not much to say on that. He earned it. No one was close to him. Over in the NL, Trevor Bauer. Love Trevor Bauer. What he's trying to do for the sport and on the field and off the field. Huge step up from last season. He had a very disappointing season. And Cincinnati just found his rhythm in the shortened season.
Yeah, and this being his last year on his contract, this was a perfect time for Trevor Bauer to find a Cy Young Award type season.
Yeah.
Because not only is he about to get paid because of what he just did, but as you were saying, he is great for the game of baseball. Like, he, for the better, is always yelling at Rob Manfred for whatever new little quirky rule that he wants to put in the game. And Trevor Bauer is just like, no, shut up. The game's fine. Just let us play.
Yeah.
And he was well deserving. As you said, he had a great year. Got 27 first place votes. No one else even got close to that. Yu Darvish of the Cubs came in second. Jacob deGrom of the Mets came in third. And then Dosan Lamet came from San Diego came fourth. And there are a bunch of other guys who got a vote here, a vote there.
Mm-hmm.
But Trevor Bauer, again, had a great season, bounce back year. And something about going to Cincinnati really helps out pitchers. Because Sonny Gray, when he was a Yankee, as you know, yikes.
Sadly enough, yep.
Yep. And so he goes to a nice little small market, Cincinnati, and goes back to what he was doing in Oakland. And Trevor Bauer, even though, he was traded to Cincinnati in 2019 and got lit up, it was like new year, new me, boom, produce, win games, strike people out. And should be very interesting to see what happens with Trevor Bauer in this offseason, where he goes and what he's going to get as a contract.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I heard, I think it was MLB trade rumors that he's looking for a 1-year deal, which would be pretty insane. But he just needs to secure the bag.
He's going for a 1-year deal. That literally puts every team in play for him, which is kind of an interesting strategy if you think about it. That way, whoever wants to give you the most money for 1 year, and if their budget allows it, could really make some money, and that's interesting. Could be a good move.
Yeah. Also, do you see Yu Darvish had an incentive in his contract? He got like $1 million, I believe. Was it $1 million? I don't know, for finishing second in the Cy Young, and he had no idea about it until I guess his agent told him. He tweeted about it, and he said he's going to donate some of it. So he's also a cool dude.
Nothing like getting a surprise million in your bank account.
Yeah. Happened to me 2 months ago.
Really?
It was a nice little, it's like finding a French fry in the bottom of the bag.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah, and Trevor, going back to Bauer real quick, he obviously loves baseball, loves the MLB. He's always looking for ways to market the game, attract more fans. And on election night, the MLB thought it was a great idea to host the Gold Glove ceremony that night, when no one's gonna watch, no one's gonna tune into that, no one's gonna care.
No.
So that's just going back to Rob Manfred not caring about the game of baseball.
Yeah. Hopefully, whenever Bauer decides to hang it up, call it a career, he gets a big role with Major League Baseball, because I feel he could do so much good for it, and he could really help the sport out, make it more appealing to younger people, and make baseball fun again, as one Bryce Harper would say.
What about the coaches of the year? Any surprises there in either league?
Don Mattingly getting it, well deserved. I mean, no one expected the Marlins to do what they did this season.
Close.
I expected the Marlins to do that against the Phillies. I didn't expect them to do that against everybody. So that was an easy pick. And Kevin Cash with Tampa Bay, another solid pick. I mean, Tampa Bay had 59 different batting orders in 60 games.
That's crazy. Super analytical.
Yeah, so Tampa's just being Tampa. Kevin Cash played with it well until the World Series, basically.
And he cost them that game. We won't go into that.
No.
But I don't know how you take Snell out of that game at that point.
It's what the numbers said.
Numbers. So he might have been too analytical, but he's still deserving of the award.
Yes. It'll be interesting to see if more people start hiring and playing the way Tampa does. I mean, there was that big analytics push, but like no one does it like Tampa. And we'll see if that continues to be a trend with how people hire and how people manage the game.
Yeah, maybe Tony La Russa will be a number cruncher, be a big stat guy out of nowhere.
And ironically, mentioning Tony La Russa, who again is taking over in Chicago, Rick Renteria, he came second in AL Manager of the Year. And so for whatever reason, the White Sox were like, yeah, you did really good, but we don't want you anymore.
You're not a Hall of Famer. We don't want you.
Exactly. But Rick Renteria, he definitely has another job waiting for him.
Yeah.
I would think, after what he did in Chicago.
Hope so.
And yeah, your managers of the year. lastly, the last big award, if you will, Rookie of the Year. Great movie, by the way.
That's good. That's a good movie.
In the American League, Kyle Lewis, unanimous American League Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Of the Seattle Mariners. Kid can play.
Yeah.
He is really, really good. A great piece to build around in Seattle. And
It's fun to watch.
Any thoughts on Kyle Lewis?
And then in the NL, your boy Devin Williams.
Yes.
He
did beat out Alex Bohm. I'm not mad. I'm not upset about it. But I mean, both Alec Bohm and the guy from San Diego, Jake Cronenworth, that's the name. They both had really good offensive years. Both have really bright futures ahead. But Devin Williams, good grief. This kid.
Nasty.
Nasty fastball, nasty breaking ball. One of the best relief pitchers in baseball. And so giving him Rookie of the Year just made sense.
Yeah.
He had a wildly low ERA and is really going to help out the Milwaukee bullpen for years to come.
Yeah. Take over that closer role once they get rid of Josh Hader, maybe.
Maybe. But right now, that's a nice little 1-2 punch that Milwaukee has in the abysmal NL Central.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think overall with the awards, I think they finally got everything right. Nothing was too surprising. We had a couple unanimous votes, so for once they finally got everything right.
Imagine the baseball writers did something good.
Anything else you want to touch upon?
That is essentially all that has really happened so far in the off season. Just recently, the Angels have named Perry Minisayan. I'm completely butchering that name. I apologize, Perry, if you ever hear this. He is the new GM for the LA Angels. So that could be a new look for the Angels. They might not be giving out stupid contracts anymore. I don't know.
They better hope so.
They might not waste Mike Trout. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this hire.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got. Episode 1.
Episode 1. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening on. And next week, we're going to preview preview the free agency, I guess. Make some predictions. So we're looking forward to that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, guys.